Welcome to Urbandale's Highlight Spotlight on Business. I'm Janice Wisnan, Membership Director of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. Today we have a couple special guests with us to start with, and I'm going to introduce both John Liebel and Alicia Maxwell, and they are with Maxwell Liebel. And let's hear a little bit. So tell me, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Well, Janice, thank you very much for having us here. Appreciate that. And I guess since Maxwell is leading the name of the business, we should start with you.
Oh, well, welcome, Alicia.
Well, thank you for having us.
So how did you decide to become a Urbandale Chamber of Commerce member?
You know, we've heard really good things about the chamber and that it's one of the best in the country. And so we knew that obviously interacting with other people and getting to know other people in the business world is helpful for our business. So it's really a smart thing to do. So,
well, welcome. We're glad to have you as
Yeah.
a new member. And so how did you start your business?
Oh, gosh. Great question. Both Alicia and I have worked a number of years, decades now, I guess, in each of us, both in our past career and even careers before that. We've always been in advertising and marketing. We've always loved the marketing angle. And more than anything, it's been about the relationships that we've been able to form and develop with a lot of our clients. And gosh, after about 10 or 11 months of soul searching and planning and talking it out, and we realized that there was a good connection there. Alicia has skills and strengths that I don't have, and we came together as a great partnership and decided to take the plunge last summer of 2014, and it's been great since.
Now, have you worked together before in the past?
Yep.
Okay.
We were actually almost cube mates.
Were you?
So yes, we worked in the same company together.
How is John so lucky to get you?
I question that every day.
So do I. Can I say that? So do I.
Absolutely. So tell me where you're located at.
We're in Urbandale.
Okay.
We're in the Timmons Kroll Jacobson accounting professionals business. It's 104th and Hickman, basically. I think right off of New York Avenue. And actually, we were really excited when we had narrowed in on that office location. I think I said to you, "Hey, the Urbandale Chamber is great, and we'll need to become part of the Urbandale Chamber if we do choose this office." And here we are.
Excellent. So your website is www.maxwellliebel.com.
That's correct,
Okay.
yes. And there are three L's in there. It's a little tricky there.
3 L's
Yes,
on the
yes.
website.
Two to end her name, one to
let's see,
begin
he's
mine.
got it up now. So it's www.maxwell with 2 L's, and then Liebel is with an L at the beginning and at the end.com.
Right.
And phone number is the general phone number, the 778-8533.
That's actually my cell phone. General
Okay.
office phone number is 515-421-4030, but we can be accessed, I think, more times than anything on our cell phone, to be honest.
Absolutely.
Okay. So tell me, what's your passion?
Oh gosh,
We're going to you, Alicia.
one of the biggest reasons that we felt so inclined to begin this business is because we really feel for our clients, actually, we really understand what they go through in terms of all of the overwhelming choices that there are in marketing and what do you choose over what? And if you have X amount of budget, how do you spend it the most appropriate ways? And so we're really passionate about helping them and then taking some time off of their plate and putting it on ours, of course, so that they can be freed up to run their businesses.
The tagline for our business that you'll see is smart, creative, sound strategy. And that's really important with the approach that we've tried to take with a lot of our clients is having really good, strong, creative messaging. Creative that tugs at the emotional heartstrings a little bit, that tells the information in a fun and unique way, maybe does a little bit of a storytelling aspect to it. So we really put a lot of emphasis and passion behind the creative, and that kind of leads to being more passionate about the marketing from both our perspective and our clients and how the audience receives it.
So who's your customer? What's an ideal customer?
Typically, it's anybody that is overwhelmed by marketing choices that are out there, as Alicia had kind of touched on. We have a wide variety of accounts from businesses that have 1 or 2 employees to businesses that have 10, 15, 20 and beyond. Even upwards of 100 employees. It's just a matter of where is the business proprietor, the chief marketing decision maker, where are they at in their lives? If they're overwhelmed, if he or she is too busy or doesn't know where to go with what direction or doesn't know how to manage a budget, then we try and step in there and help them out and see if we can kind of simplify that process for them.
John, when you talk about anybody that's overwhelmed, that can be a lot of people. I hear marketing is a very volatile. You don't know where to go. You don't know what
Absolutely.
direction. So what you can do is you can really get it kind of in one direction. Do you tell me how, if you were sitting down with me, Alicia, how would you start? What type of questions would you want to know from me?
We really just try to learn more about your business and really find out what maybe you've done in the past that has worked, what you haven't done that you've wanted to try. And then we really look at what are the big things that really work for people and just in general, and really kind of thread a lot of that through the marketing goals that we build with you.
Okay. So, John, who's your competition then?
Competition? Boy, that's a good question. I feel like there's enough business to go around out there that there's not competition. We're certainly not as large as some of the big, wonderful agencies that are in this market. There are a ton of them, and they're very good. We don't really work with anybody on the national level too much, more so on the regional aspect of that. There's a lot of other smaller agencies too. So we're dedicated. This is a full-time operation for us. We're happy with where we're at, but we envision growth at that sense, but competition-wise, not really. We love to work together with other agencies. In fact, often get together and kind of confer on things with other advertising agencies similar in size with us, and just talk about the market, talk about what we're hearing out there from the media landscape of things. And we think that's important to know what's going out there and to know what other people are seeing and hearing to better help our clients with their needs.
Excellent. So somewhere along the line, someone had to pull you aside and really be that mentor, be that person of influence for you. John, who do you say, who is that person
My
for
business
you?
partner, sitting right across from me.
Excellent. Alicia, that's quite the compliment.
I think that's a stretch. I think he had lots of influences prior to me that probably made a bigger impact.
No, I think we can both answer that a couple different ways. My father has been a tremendous influence in my life. He's been in marketing, of course, ever since I knew him when I first came into this world. And I always joke with people that I got an unfair start in life because I knew from a very early age that I wanted to follow in Dad's footsteps. And so I always sit there and tell people that, when you come home from school and you're sitting around the dinner table with Mom and Dad and, well, how was school today? What'd you do? I couldn't wait to finish that answer so I could say to my dad, well, hey, what'd you do in your world today? And tell me some of those stories from his world. So he's been not only my best friend, but my tremendous influence in my life from that perspective. And we've had other good solid advice from a lot of other people in the field. Certainly, as I mentioned when I answered your competition question, other advertising agencies have served as mentors and guidance for us to kind of help us get started out there as well.
Alicia, I'd ask you, but now that John really set the bar high, you're going to have to say that it was him that was that person of influence.
True, absolutely. That goes without saying. But I would have to say, honestly, that I've had a lot of mentors as well, just as John has. But I think probably the person who speaks to me the most, in my ear every once in a while, is my dad. He was an entrepreneur himself, and I really enjoyed growing up in that environment as a child, and just the good, hardworking, ethical background that is threaded throughout everything that we do. I mean, I think a lot of it comes back to that. So as long as you're hardworking and you try everything you need to try and you don't say no to yourself and you just keep your ethics in mind the entire time, then I think that you can succeed about anything. So
some really good, solid advice.
Yeah.
So are you readers?
I love podcasts. Actually, I listen to a lot of podcasts or watch a lot of little short podcasts, that sort of thing. But I love anything on financial advice. I love anything on growing your business or learning more about our industry. It changes all the time, and so it's really nice to keep up on some of the new things that are out there. So, and that's a great way for me to do it. It's something I can plug in when I'm at the gym, and I can listen to it when I'm at the gym and catch up there, or I can watch it at the end of the night. I fall asleep really easily when I read a book, so those seem to work best for me.
John, does she work 100% of the time? Nonstop?
Oh my gosh, my email at night. If I get an email past 8 o'clock at night, there's usually a pretty good chance it's from Alicia. But while she's up at night emailing, I'm up early in the morning emailing. When do you turn off working?
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while, right, exactly.
I have two children, so I need to turn off for them. So.
Are you a reader, John?
I do like to read and stay up on the latest industrial trends. There's so many different things out there. And you mentioned earlier that marketing is volatile. And it is. And there's always the next big thing and the next great wave and the next big idea that it's going to be. And we're even kind of in marketing transitioning out of this big data world to a big content world. And that's been kind of interesting to read about and to follow. And as we've launched our advertising agency, it's been neat to follow those trends and read those stories. And content is really something that we focused on early when we launched our advertising agency. So to kind of start seeing this national momentum be more about the story and more about the emotion and more about the content as opposed to the numbers and the metrics, I welcome that. I like that quite a bit.
Excellent. Alicia, you have 2?
Yes, 2 children.
All right. So when you do shut down, what do you like to do?
Anything they love to do. You know, my daughter and I love putting puzzles together. My son loves anything that's energetic and wears me out. We regularly go to the gym and we love doing things physical together too, outside, riding bikes, whatever. So doing that with my kids is always my number one thing.
How old are they?
6 and 8.
6 and 8.
Yeah.
So they do keep you busy.
They do keep me
Any
very
fur
busy.
babies at home that go along with that? Any
No.
coaches or anything?
Unfortunately, I grew up very allergic to animals, so that's something that has been kind of crossed out from the list in our household. So,
John, that got a pretty good laugh out of you.
Oh, well, yes,
Thinking
yes.
about that.
I'm trying to think. The last time I invited you over to our house for dinner, I had to put the cat away in order to accommodate those pet allergies. So, yes, we have the fur baby.
You have the-
Skips is her name.
Skips.
Yes.
There's
indeed.
got to be a story behind that also.
My wife is an educator. She's a principal in the Oskaloosa Community School District and loves reading to her students. I mean, she did when she was a teacher and instructional coach, and of course now as a principal. And one of the series of books that she's always had a great time to reading to her students and to kids was the Skippy John Jones series of books, and she does this great accent. I would try to do it right now, but I won't live up to it. I can promise you that. So as it happened, one of the grandmothers of one of her students brought in a Siamese cat one day that looked just like Skippy John Jones. Now, despite the fact that our cat is female and Skippy John Jones is male, because she looked enough like Skippy John Jones, she's now known as Skips.
Excellent. Anybody else at home other than
Our daughter, Jaya, yes, she's 5 years old. She is a bundle of energy and joy and enthusiasm, and our pastime and hobby is keeping up with her, for darn sure.
So you said that you're an early riser?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
4 o'clock in the morning, 4:15 in the morning. Yeah, I love it. Is that crazy? Yeah, I was going to say your eyes kind of like, whoa, popped up there a little bit. But
That's
yeah,
about
no.
the time I'm starting to sleep really well.
No,
I'm more of a night person too.
Yeah. Both my wife and I, we've been early risers, and our daughter Jaya is an early riser as well. Usually by 5:30, 5:15 in the morning, she's up and ready to go for the day.
So if you had the opportunity to have dinner with anybody that you wanted, dead, live, deceased,
it's a good question. Really is a good question.
any thoughts?
I think that I would probably pick Walt Disney because I think he is a genius. I love him tapping into anything that makes things magical for kids. And I think just how thoroughly he thought of every piece of that world is just amazing to me.
That puzzle that you
Yes.
like to do with
Yes.
your
Yeah.
children. Absolutely. So what's one thing that you want to make sure that you get across to people as to what makes your business different, unique, special, and your passion?
Boy, great question. We begin that approach with really trying to dive deep and understand what each of our clients is about. And we know you look up and down our client roster, and there is so much diversity. And it's been easy, I think, and been welcoming to get to know them on a much more personal level and a deeper level and really find out what is it that they want to do. And if you can sit there, and we'd probably ask that same question and that same ideal approach, and then when they give us this, we'd kind of help them narrow it down to that and really execute that marketing plan from that side of things. There's really nothing we won't do in that sense as far as getting to know things or finding out what they want to do from a marketing perspective or how they want to tell their story. We'll just kind of help them put it into words that make sense from a marketing aspect.
All right. Well, tell me again, Alicia, how can we contact you?
You can reach out to either one of us at our first names at maxwelllegal.com. So Alicia or John at maxwelllegal.com.
No H in that, John.
Right, exactly, JON. Or you can call us at 515-421-4030.
Excellent. Well, thank you both for being my guest today.
Thank you.
Thank you for the time.
And this is Spotlight on Business for the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. Thanks for being with us today. And I'm Janice Wissenand. And remember, at the Chamber, Tuesdays are special. Stop by any Tuesday, 9 a.m. We'll have the coffee on. And stop by and get all your questions answered about Chamber membership, the different activities to get involved in, committees. There's just a lot of different things. We want to make sure that we're honing it down to make sure that it's successful for you and your membership is a happy experience. So again, thanks for joining us today.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can give these grandkids back, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We can help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hey, psst. Let me let you in on a little secret. You ready? Always try to do business with people, not places. Especially if you seek honest Christian business people. And when it comes to my car, I really need to trust who's working on it. Now, my family is so blessed. A few years ago, we found a family-owned automobile repair shop that operates as a Christian business also. Open, honest, reliable, trustworthy. It's AMCO on Hickman Road in front of Kmart, and it's a family-owned Christian operating business. This family treats your car as if it was their car. Everything from oil changes to transmission repair and everything in between. So the next time you feel the need to be at peace with your choice of who you can trust with your car, give AMCO on Hickman a chance to serve you. And tell them Max sent you.
Welcome to an highlight on business for Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. I'm Janice Wissanan, Membership Director, and we have someone very special with us today. She has a little bit of a history with the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. We've got Dr. Melissa Billings. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today. So how did you start with the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce?
Well, we joined the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce back in 2003. We had just relocated one of our locations to Urbandale and really wanted to get involved in the community. At the time that I met with the executive director, she explained the benefits of being in the chamber, and it was pretty much a no-brainer to join.
Wonderful. So you have been on the board, you've been a past president. How did you decide to get that ingrained in the culture there at Urbandale Chamber?
You know, I'm a native of Urbandale. I graduated from Urbandale High School. My family still lives there. I just have a lot of pride in the community. And as a new doctor in the area, I really wanted to become involved, drum up more business, but also just give back to the community that gave so much to me. And so when I joined the chamber, the very first thing I did was became a chamber ambassador. So I was new to the chamber, but I wanted to also welcome new members to the chamber as well. And then through that, just got more and more involved, was asked to take on a board position, went through all the chairs of the board, and served as president in 2010. And then now they keep pulling me back in for other committees, which is fun to do as well.
You are on one big committee right now.
I am. I'm the chairperson for the Urbandale Dash, but I am also the co-chair for the Total Resource Campaign.
Those are a couple big projects, big commitments.
They
for
are,
time-wise.
but I tell you what, it is so worth it to just be that involved in the chamber and really get excitement brewing in all kinds of areas.
So you talked about the ambassadors.
Yes.
And the ambassadors, really, you must have paved the way, because in 2013, the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce ambassadors changed their names to connectors.
They did, yes.
And I would say you probably paved the way to that, because I've heard and experienced that the connectors really are that extending arm of the chamber, but what they do best is connecting individuals.
They really do. The connectors are so important. Whenever a new member joins the chamber, the scariest thing to do is to walk into a room and not know one single person. And so the connectors do a wonderful job of finding those people, making sure they're making connections with other people. We want to do business with people that we know and trust and like, and it's building those relationships, and the connectors definitely help do that.
Great. So what you have a couple daughters.
I
at
do.
home.
I have 2 girls, a 10-year-old and a 7-year-old.
And you have a fur baby also, don't you?
I do. I have a 1.5-year-old fur baby named Molly. She's little.
So outside of when you're not at the clinic being a doctor, what are your passions? What are your hobbies? Those 2 girls probably keep you pretty busy.
They do. Both of them play softball, and I actually am the assistant coach for my daughter's 8U team. My husband's the head coach for the 10U softball team, so we spend a lot of time on the softball fields. My daughters play basketball, they play volleyball, so we're always traveling around, and we're highly active in our church. I volunteer for the Awana program as a listener in our church, and I also teach Sunday school to the first and kindergartners at our church. So that's a lot of fun. In my free time, I enjoy running. I run half marathons and a couple 5Ks throughout the year. I love kickboxing. I'll watch any Ohio State Buckeye sport, which is amazing. I love spending time with my family.
I thought that was interesting. You said in your free time you like doing all these things, and I'm thinking, how in the world do you have any free time?
Well, it's 6 in the morning's good.
Good thing that you're a morning person.
Yes,
then.
yes.
So I'm lucky enough to be one of your patients, and I have experienced a complete level of different care through your business. So tell me, how did you create that? How do you make such a different experience?
Our motto is we see things differently, and you will too. And Vision Park it was the practice that I grew up in as a patient. Mm. And when I was trying to figure out what area of medicine I wanted to go into, Dr. Bolter, who was my childhood doctor, said, hey, why don't you come in for the summer and work here as an assistant, just to see if you like it? And I said, great. And I fell in love with it. Went to college for 4 years, went to optometry school for 4 years at Ohio State, and came back and actually rejoined the practice where I'm now one of the owners. We went from an all-male practice back in 1929 to now an all-female practice, and we've just grown throughout the years. The neat thing about our practice is that we're not just checking for glasses and contact lenses. We do so much more than that. We do low vision examinations. We do ocular disease, whether it's for glaucoma or macular degeneration. We do pre-op and post-op appointments for LASIK and for cataracts. We also have a vision therapy clinic. It's a very unique niche in optometry that not many people have. In fact, we're one of 3 offices in the Des Moines area that actually offer vision therapy for rehabilitating people's vision, whether it's a child in school who is struggling with reading, with words moving, rereading lines, skipping place, not remembering what they're reading, to adults who have gone through traumatic brain injury, to children who have autism. And so that's one of the things that we offer that makes our office a little different from others.
Tell me about your patients age-wise. How old are your patients?
Well, the youngest patients we see are usually about 6 months of age. All of our doctors volunteer for the infancy program, which we offer free infant eye examinations for infants between 6 and 12 months of age. Just because if you can find something that's not working together with the eyes at such a young age, it's something that we can treat. instead of catching it when it's really far gone when they're in elementary school. My oldest patient I saw was 99 years old, and I tell you what, she probably had better vision than most 20-year-olds.
Oh, my.
Pretty amazing. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
So along the way, you did talk about the doctor that had been an influence, but who else? Who else in your life have been that influence to make you into who you are?
I can think of two people specifically, and they're both family members. And one was my grandmother. I actually lived with her for 3 years. She introduced me to my faith. Just was the most amazing person you could meet. And the other one would probably be my father. He raised us as a single dad when I was in 3rd grade, and he's one of the strongest people I've ever met in my life. And so those two have really probably shaped me to be who I am today.
Well, I think they did a pretty good job shaping you.
Well,
so
thank you.
Nicely done for them. So outside of work, we've already talked about your different hobbies and things like that. Do you like to read?
I do. I love reading. Reading's one of my passions. I learned to read when I was when I was 3. Actually, my mom taught me how to read. I've been reading forever. I don't get a lot of time to read, unfortunately. I read my Bible. I read little blurbs in magazines. I'm always reading the latest research in optometry. Reading my Facebook scroll every once in a while, grabbing a newspaper when I can, and reading books to my kids.
Excellent.
Yes.
How can people get a hold of you at the clinic?
Well, our Urbandale location, they can call me at 515-270-2490 or visit our website at www.vision-park.com. There's a way that you can reach us that way.
Okay. So who, living, deceased, who would you like to meet? Who would you like to sit down and have a cup of coffee with?
That's an excellent question. Somebody I've met before, or somebody new, or
Anybody, whoever it is.
My word.
If you could choose a person, who would that be?
Well, besides Jesus, which I will
That's
be
a good
meeting
answer.
at some point.
I like that answer.
I really think I'd like to meet my grandmother again. I was so young when she passed away, and I would just really like that opportunity to ask more questions.
Outstanding. Well, thank you, Melissa, for being here and joining
you.
us for Spotlight on Business for Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. Remember, at the Chamber, Tuesdays are special. Every Tuesday, 9 a.m., come in, join me for a cup of coffee. We'll sit down and it's Meet the Chamber. You can learn about the Chamber, get your questions answered, find out all the different things that you can get involved in, like Dr. Billings, if you're wanting to join a committee or to get some networking in, just take advantage of all those benefits that we have. And again, thank you for joining us this afternoon, and thank you, Dr. Billings, for being our guest today. And I'm Janice Wisnan, signing off with the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
I'm Brian Leach, owner of Service Legends, and my position is Chief Talent Officer.
I'm Nicholas Wonderscheid.
I am Bernie Hobbs,
And I'm the Service Manager.
Marketing Director and Client Relations Manager.
Everything that we do is about ensuring that we exceed your expectations.
Our clients are important to us. 100% satisfaction.
We're not just focused on heating and cooling. That's the easiest part of our job, actually, is fixing furnaces and air conditioners.
Everyone that we come in touch with, we want to improve lives.
Bottom line is, we've got our installation guarantees, 25% energy savings guarantee, comfort guarantee, temperature selection guarantee, property protection guarantee.
100% satisfaction guaranteed. Fixed rate or it's free.
All of those guarantees are backed up with a 100% money back guarantee to hold ourselves accountable to making sure that you get what you're after.
Just fixing the problem today. If they have another problem 5 days down the road, it's still fixed rate or it's free.
We use what's called straightforward pricing. Our technicians are going to give you an exact to-the-penny price on what it's going to take before they move forward with any repair. That way you know what to expect.
It's the same price every day.
No surprises.
If you get off work at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, you come home, you realize that, oh, my furnace is broken. Now you need to call somebody out that night. You shouldn't have to pay more for that.
We're guaranteeing service 24/7.
We run afternoons, evenings, nights, weekends. We're staffed to work that.
Phone rings at 3 in the morning. You'll get one of our representatives answering the phone every time.
We're not sending you out to Timbuktu in some call center. It's our Service Legend team members, our mission control team.
I'll take a call anytime.
And then they answer the phones the same way during the day as they do at night.
It's a great day at your service company. How can we make you smile?
That's the only way to provide true 24-hour service.
When you're able to let somebody actually live in their home safely, when they weren't able to do that before, where they don't have to stay up at night and worry about, is the heat going to come back on? Are we going to freeze the pipes? Is the baby in the room next door going to be sick because they got too cold? When you're able to help somebody overcome challenges like that, that's impacting a life. That makes a difference. I get goosebumps thinking about it.
I love the team. I love the people that I work with.
We have fun, but we work hard.
I call them my ambassadors of legendary service. If you could just envision what that is, that's who we're sending to your home.
They literally will call in, pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I want to talk to your manager. And I get on the phone, they're like, that technician that was at my house was the greatest technician ever. That's cool to me.
We want to brighten people's days.
Every person that we have going into the house has gone through an extensive background check.
Drug testing, we have a very thorough interview process that 1 out of 140 people make it through.
If we promise you something, that's what you're going to get, no matter what.
We're here when you need us to protect the safety and comfort of your family.
If you're not happy, we're going to make it right.
If we're willing to put 100% money back guarantee on what we do, what type of work do you think we do?
Give us a call. We're there for you 24/7, 365 days a year.
Enough said.
Welcome to an Urbandale Spotlight on Business. I'm Janice Wissenand with the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. I'm the membership director today, or actually every day. And today, though, we have a very special guest. We have Susan Bonnickson with Superior Printing and Promotion Items here with us today. Welcome, Susan.
Thanks, Janice.
And Susan, you have a little bit of history with the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. I have a question for you. How did you decide? Where did it all begin? Tell me.
Well, it was really kind of an easy decision because it wasn't actually made by me. It was made by the person who owns Superior Printing and Promotions. Dave Carlson is a huge advocate of chamber involvement, and he has always encouraged all of his employees, whether they are actual employees or someone like myself who is a contract employee, to be active into the community that we pursue our business at. So when I joined Dave, I joined as an independent contractor, and he said, how do you feel about being part of the Urbandale Chamber? And I was like, oh, wow. I've never done anything like that before. And he goes, trust me, it's going to really grow your business. So I gave it a whirl and immediately became an ambassador. And at that time, Tiffany Minke had not been hired yet. And once she hit the scene, things really exploded. She had a lot of great ideas. So for me, being an ambassador, I moved up the ranks and became the co-chair, and then I became the chairperson and made a lot of valuable connections. And my business literally exploded, totally exploded from just joining this unique group.
Well, you didn't just stop there. You went to becoming a board member and president.
Yeah, that was really quite an honor when I was asked to join the board of directors. And I thought, oh, I wonder if I'll ever move up to the exec board. And I hung on for whatever that term is, 3 or 4 years. Mm-hmm. And finally they said, well, we wanted to get as much out of you as we could, so now we want you to join the exec board. So I moved up the ranks through that. And yes, I was president in 2012, which was a wonderful year. It was a good year for the chamber and me personally.
Absolutely. So tell us about your business.
Well, my business is unique. Like I said, I'm basically self-employed, although I work under Dave Carlson's umbrella with Superior Printing and Promotions. I get to help people market and brand their businesses through various ways. Out there, they can say it's trinkets and trash, but for me, I think it's a quality product that helps you be able to market your business more effectively. I do that through corporate apparel. Very nice corporate apparel. It can be Nike, Adidas, Ping. We also sell pens, pencils, stress balls. If you want your name on it, we can probably get it there. A lot of golf items now that golf is coming into view. So, yeah, it's a very unique business, we've got a great website where you can look online. There's probably over 500,000 items on that website. You type in a keyword, and you will be amazed as to how many widgets and gadgets there are.
Well, I know I've had the opportunity to work one-on-one with you, and it really shows that you're passionate about what you do, and you're willing to go way above and beyond to make sure that what that consumer is purchasing for their business is the right fit. And also something unique about you also is it can be a onesie twosies where it seems like a lot of companies want the bulk, 250 to 500 to 5,000. How do you make that happen?
Well, I think that has a lot to do with the fact that I am an independent rep. And so I can kind of make my own rules. And I do have the capability to purchase from larger companies, 1 item, 2 items. It's not my favorite thing to do, but if people want to have a shirt that this is the only shirt that fits me right and it fits my sleeve length and it's just this is the shirt that I want and I buy it at Kohl's for $19.99, will you put my logo on it? I say yes. Because that simple act of getting their brand where they want it may turn into another order that is very, very beneficial for me and them.
So not only are you kind of that overachiever with helping the board and anything with the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, you really extend that to your customers, don't you?
Well, I try to.
Oh,
I hope that there's a value there.
I don't know. I think it's like Yoda says, there's no try, only do. And that's kind of your motto should be. So there has to be some way when you take off your cape and your mask and all that stuff about being an ambassador, connector, president, TRC volunteer, overall everything. What do you like to do?
Well, I like to spend time with my husband. I'm very passionate about my Iowa State Cyclones.
Yes.
I'm very passionate about my godchildren. We've never had children, but I've got 7 wonderful godchildren. So the oldest is now 32, and the youngest are going to be 9 in April. They're twins. So we spend a lot of time with those kids and get to interact with them and see what's going on with their lives now. My church is very important to me. Most times, if you can't find me on my phone, it's because I'm on my John Deere riding lawnmower because I'm very passionate about mowing, or I'm out on the golf course.
And you have a fairly large yard from what I recall.
Yeah, it's just under 2 acres.
Under 2 acres. So I think that you have a pond.
I have a pond.
A pond. Any fur babies at home?
No.
You said that definitively.
No, we are not tied down by any animals.
Well, that has its pluses. So we talked a little bit about reading. You're not a big reader other than you do have a favorite book from my understanding.
Well, the favorite book, and I am trying to, this was my goal this year, was to read the Bible. And I'm doing really well at it. So I'm just trying to get through the Bible from start to finish. Mm-hmm. Other than that, I read up on friends on Facebook, or I read the newspaper.
Or what's going on with your cyclones.
And what's going on with my cyclones.
Absolutely. So there had to have been a mentor somewhere along the way. Who is that person in your life?
Well, this sounds weird, but when I was a younger girl and I babysat, we had a neighbor lady, Rosie Babcock, and she is no longer with us, but she was a great mom. She was a great mentor to me, teaching me values, always very caring. I truly loved this woman, and she ended up going into real estate and was very, very successful. And I was always in awe of her. So Rosie Babcock is what comes to mind for me. She was a special woman on our block growing up.
It's always nice to have that connection with someone close to you and physically close to you too, so you can have access to that person all the time. So if you were to sit down with someone, whether they were living or not, and be able to have lunch with them, cup of coffee, who would that person be for you?
Oh, it'd be my mom.
Excellent.
And I miss her a lot.
Well, if you have any needs that are for marketing to take your business to the next level, give Susan a call. Sit down with her, be able to have a conversation, and she'll definitely be able to direct you into what you want to do so you can enhance your decision. And with her kind of taking you around, well, I'm going to say this. So she'll take you under her wing, put her arm around you, embrace you, and embrace where you want to be. So Susan, thank you so much for being here today with us. And thanks for all you do for the Chamber and for all of us as your friends. And how can we reach you?
You can reach me on my cell phone, 515-975-1284.
Again, we're very blessed to have Susan with Superior Printing and Promotions here this afternoon. I'm Janice Wissanan with the Urbandale Chamber. And remember, Tuesdays are special at the Chamber. Every Tuesday at 9 o'clock, sit down with me, have a cup of coffee. Let's learn about the Chamber, figure out what the benefits are, and if it makes sense for you to join the Urbandale Chamber, we'd love to have you.
Credit cards are like grandkids. They love you, sometimes get out of control, and it's fun to get a new one. Who can stop them from piling on?
Hi, I'm Tom Coates with Consumer Credit of Des Moines. At the end of the day, you can return the grandkids, but you're stuck paying off bad credit card debt. We'll help you put the fun back into using credit cards responsibly. Right, kids?
Yeah! If you need help getting credit cards off your back, call Consumer Credit of Des Moines.
Hey, psst. Let me let you in on a little secret. You ready? Always try to do business with people, not places. Especially if you seek honest Christian business people. And when it comes to my car, I really need to trust who's working on it. Now, my family is so blessed. A few years ago, we found a family-owned automobile repair shop that operates as a Christian business also. Open, honest, reliable, trustworthy. It's AMCO on Hickman Road in front of Kmart. And it's a family-owned Christian operating business. This family treats your car as if it was their car. Everything from oil changes to transmission repair and everything in between. So the next time you feel the need to be at peace with your choice of who you can trust with your car, give AMCO on Hickman a chance to serve you. And tell them Max sent you.
From the RE/MAX Real Estate Concept Studios, this is Webcast One Live.
Welcome to an Urbandale Highlight on Business. I'm Janice Wissanan, Membership Director of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. And yes, we are uniquely Urbandale. And you can find us at www.uniquelyurbandale.com. Today I have a very special guest with me. I have Becky DeVries with me with Midland Credit Union, and Becky is the president and CEO at the Midland Credit Union. Welcome, Becky. Thanks for joining us.
Welcome, Janice. Thanks for having me.
Well, Becky, you have been with the credit union for 35 years.
Correct.
So you must have started when you were 5?
Oh, thank you. That's what a lot of credit union members that have been members for over 35 years have said to me. But no, I was just about 21 when I started. Yeah.
Excellent. So when did the credit union decide to become an Urbandale Chamber member, and why?
2000 is when we joined the Chamber of Commerce, and it was primarily, we were closed credit union back then, and we were skirting the possibility of community and saying, okay, if we're going to become a community credit union, we do need to be participating more in the community environment, and the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce were right in their back door.
So where are you located at then?
We are at 106th and Buena Vista, between Hickman and Douglas Avenue.
So you're just right behind not too far from 100th Street, where we're at 100th and Justin.
Correct.
Okay.
We're just six blocks away from you.
Excellent. So when you became an Urbandale, okay, let me back up. So when I first was getting involved in the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, I had heard a story, and it involved Becky. So I had heard a story that her son was going to get some car insurance, and the car insurance agent that he was working with wasn't an Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. So Becky takes it to the truly level of Urbandale does a really good job of doing business with other Urbandale Chamber members. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I'd been on the board already. I got on the board in 2009, and so he'd heard his mother talk a lot about the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce and the benefits of shopping local and serving other, working with other chamber members. And so he was at a dealership that is a chamber member, was talking to the rep about, well, I need insurance, and the gal that he referred to, she wasn't a chamber member, but she got the business to join the chamber shortly afterwards, and she became very involved in the chamber.
Well, thank you for that. You're definitely an advocate of the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. So not only are you a member, you have been ingrained in the culture, in creating the culture. The thing that makes Urbandale unique as far as chamber membership is our board. Our board is just phenomenal. And how many years have you been on the board?
I was on the board for 3 years.
And then you were president?
I was president, yes. Did I say 3 years? I meant 6 years. 2 years as just a board member, and then was asked to come into the executive board. And I just ended as past president last year.
So that was quite a bit of your membership was that you were highly ingrained in the culture and helped set what Urbandale is for the chamber. So thank you for all your service with the chamber. And now you've taken it at a different level because you are involved in our Total Resource campaign. And the bank is doing quite a few sponsorships this year, aren't they?
Yes, the credit union is doing a lot of sponsorships. We're Midland Credit Union, and being in Urbandale and Pleasant Hill, 2 locations. We're not in Urbandale on a main street. People don't see us, and so they don't know that we're there. But we are there, and we are small, but we are mighty. And the additional sponsorship is the way for us to get our name continually heard, so we're top of mind.
And you've heard me probably a few different times talk about having coffee with me on Tuesday, and Mac teases me that I cook that day. I really don't. It's just that we're having coffee that morning. And the Midland Credit Union this year is the sponsor for my program, so thank you for that.
Thank you, Janice, for recognizing that.
So there had to have been somewhere, someone along the way that influenced you, kind of took you under their wing and mentored you. Who's that person for you, Becky?
Oh, boy. Well, to get me into the credit union, I would say Ben White. He was the manager that hired me when I found out what a credit union was. and knew that I wanted to work in a bank and found out the credit union way, and credit unions are the next best thing.
Excellent. So are you a reader?
I do read, yes, when I find time and or make the time, I would say. And I am currently reading books by Lisa Jackson.
Are you? So you said when you have time. So you have probably a pretty busy schedule. What's going on with you? What keeps you so busy?
Well, as the CEO president, you carry a lot of hats, specifically of a small credit union, and so there's a lot of time commitment for that. The additional commitment that I adore with my chamber member friends and through the TRC. And I'm married and for 25 years, have a 23-year-old son and a 22-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old grandson who Riley keeps us the most busiest as we co-parent him.
Excellent. So that you are busy, not only at how do you ever find time when you shut down and really go and enjoy your family? What are the things that you guys like to do together?
We like to go to Northwest Iowa. We have a jet ski and a small mobile home in Arnold's Park. And where I go to get away is my happy place is floating on the water, not in the water. I'm an on top of the water person, and I love to watch the sunset and the sunrise.
Well, excellent. So how can people get a hold of you, Becky?
515-278-1994 is our direct number.
And that's Midland Credit Union, 515-278-1994. Or you can go to midlandcu.org also for the website for that. So if you had an hour of free time, which more than likely you don't have a lot of free time, but if you had that hour of free time, who would you want to spend it with, living or not?
I would say my mother. And she's not living, and that's I'd want to be able to chat with her.
That's a good choice. Always the mom. We are, aren't we?
Yes.
So what are things, credit unions are very unique. There's a lot of banks, there's a lot of different credit unions, but your credit union, I've had the opportunity to visit with a lot of your different staff and the uniqueness, and also I've heard a lot of testimonials about what you guys do different. So you are a passionate credit union. How do you set yourself apart?
Oh boy, hire a great team who understand the banking world and who have a passion to serve, because our credit union members are the owners of the credit union, and we're there to serve them. Some instances, and we may not be able to, but in majority of the instances, we try to find a way to get a loan to work with them or get savings started. We have share draft checking accounts. Our board members are a volunteer board. They are not paid board members, and they're passionate about helping others as well.
So you had a good board mentor with your board there at the credit union that you brought over and utilized there at the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce then. That really set you apart to make you an outstanding, because we say the same thing. Our board members are volunteers like yourself.
Correct.
And with that knowledge and experience of your own that's been so positive, I'm sure that helped you bring to us was such a wonderful, positive president, and all those 6 years that you used to sponsor and to, gosh, you do so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, it was. It was a reason why I asked. I knew what it was like to work with a board, and I at that point had not served on any board other than some credit union related organizations board.
Now, tell me a little bit about the credit union. Are there certain blocks of business that you do, or do you do all of them? Do you specialize in some?
Majority is consumer loans, automobile lending. We do mortgage lending in-house, as well as having a secondary service provider. We have commercial lending as well through Community Business Lenders, who is a credit union service organization that we are a part owner of.
Now, I've heard a lot through different networking groups that I've been in about your car loans and really going above and beyond and making a way that makes sense for the for the credit union, to make sense for that, but to also make sense and to fit that client's needs, or that I should say for you, members' needs.
The members' needs, yes. We're looking at the payment, but we want to be realistic as well.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want to stretch the payment out longer than the life of the vehicle could potentially be, because cars are running 11 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people do come in looking for a loan on a 5 or 6 year old vehicle. And we do work to get that loan through.
And last I heard that your rates were sitting pretty nice.
The rates are still low, and we also have a loan promotion going on.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Wonderful. And where can you find information on that? Is that your website?
That's on our website as well,
Okay.
midlandcu.org.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for being with me today, Becky. And remember, get a hold of Becky at the Midland Credit Union. She'll be able to get all your questions answered, or she said she has phenomenal staff there that can answer those questions also for you. Again, Tuesdays are special. Come hang out with me, 9 a.m. at the credit union. No, let's go to the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce. I kind of might have said that on purpose. But it is in a sense with the credit union, because the sponsor for this year for the 9 a.m. Meet the Chamber is the Midland Credit Union. So you are hanging out with all of us. You'll get all your questions answered about the chamber, and maybe even stump me, because I don't even know what I don't know yet. So again, I'm Janice Wisnan with the Urbandale Chamber of Commerce, and thank you, Becky, for being here with us this afternoon, and thanks for watching.